Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. Hi, Glorious E, Mary H, Loretta Shirenzi, Roland Conditional of Taro, send the music. Okay, today's Tuesday, all day. Having said that, I predicted maybe over a month ago or so, maybe more, that this shenanigan that's going on in Minneapolis, they would draw their troops, the agents, the number of agents they have there, down. Intuitively, I feel Trump and his advisors, they don't want it to be, it's obvious, but they don't want it to be that obvious that they are about to cut and run. Intuitively, I feel that's what's happening. They know, well, that's the second killing, among others. Somebody reminded me of Mr. Porter in California, among others who have died for nothing, no reason. Basically, it's because of their intransigences. And also, yesterday, from what I understand, there was a meeting in the White House. Miller wasn't invited. It was between Norm and DHS people. Take note of that. But to go back to what I was saying, my prediction is they know there is no going back. They're going to have to draw the number of agents they have there. And also, they're going to lose the lawsuits, whether at the district level or the appellate level. Okay? They know Americans are not going to have any of the shenanigans they've been perpetrating in Minneapolis, Chicago, California, and other places. They are planning on doing the same thing. I know they are in men right now, but if they are not careful, the same thing is going to happen in men as well. But I don't feel going forward they're going to continue with the same level of aggressiveness and treating people the way they were treating them. I feel like saying there are changes coming regarding those agents' comportment in the field and how they treat people. But also, there are going to be, I'm sure this is obvious, but since I'm getting it, I'll say it. Those agents, every single one of them who abuse people will be prosecuted. I think I said that yesterday, but it's worth repeating. The agents that killed Mr. Pretty will be revealed. Exactly when, I am unsure. And he will be prosecuted for murder. And it's not only him. His associates, the people who were there that day. Norman Company can do, it's futile what they are doing. Okay? This is going to change, and let me tell you, Trump is not going to go down with them. According to reports, they feel their job is secure at this time. Intuitively, I don't think so. When I heard that was said, the report saying that that's how they feel, Norm and company. Okay, if you guys remember, according to people who know Trump very well, he's not going to. He's afraid of firing people face to face, and he likes Norm for many reasons. I feel he's giving her some more ropes. But intuitively, I'm getting his family, and I was getting that this morning as well. They are saying he needs a major overhaul. And, with the people he has around him right now, because, some of them, others in the Trump family, wanted to run for office. His performance is putting a major dark cloud on any opportunity they had to run for president. Good luck to them. Trump is the first to con some in our society to vote for him. Maybe in 100 years or so, for the foreseeable future. Some of my guys will vote for Trump. They'll have a percentage. But what happened is never going to repeat, at least for the next 100 years or so. But that's the pressure that he's feeling right now, because it feels like to me everything that happens in the White House with him, and if he's unsure of his enablers in the White House, he calls some friends, but Ivanka and her husband are always, they're simply not there physically, but he gets advice from them. And they are beside themselves about what's going on. And as I'm seeing this, I'm being shown a picture, a fancy picture, that Kushner has his plans for Gaza. Good luck with that. Intuitively, I don't feel that's ever going to be built. But let's see what happens. But to go back to what I was saying, my prediction is there are going to be more changes. Bovino being removed. It's just since I did not know he was a commander until they said it yesterday. But this is just to, try an attempt to pacify the public, but it's not going to work. And let me tell you one more thing. Intuitively, I feel they're going to hold Mr. Perry's funeral will be held publicly. It's not going to be good for this administration. The more days, usually, as they go by, people accept things. I don't feel that's going to happen with this, because there's a lot of anger built out there. I mean, I usually don't, I always let go of things, because I'm not in charge. There's nothing I can do about it. I do the best I can to manage myself through it and let it go. But this is so psychologically has such an effect on me. So if I'm feeling that way, Americans, I'm an American because I would like to think I care about the Constitution, my rights and everything, just like any Americans. They must be besides themselves. If I'm feeling that way, a lot of other people are feeling besides themselves. So going forward, this thing is not going to go away. It's going to get worse. It's going to change, the anger will manifest itself in different ways, but it's going to be there on top of other mistakes. Well, no, it's not I'm sorry. I'll take that back. They're not mistakes. The attitude of those agents towards the public, until changes are made, they're going to continue to abuse people. And Stephen Miller, will be blamed for it. Right now, in the White House, I feel intuitively, Miller is catching a lot of flack because they are saying it's his fault And the way, according to reports, this guy holds meetings 6 days a week, and he berates people during those meetings. They are not going to hesitate to point the finger at him in what he told them during those meetings, how to go about doing their jobs forcefully. And the next thing I am being shown is the moral of the agents in that agency is down the dumps. And in one way, it's going to help us, the public, in knowing what's going on behind the scenes. We haven't seen betrayal yet. Betrayal is yet to come. A lot more people on the inside will let us know what's going on, who said what, who ordered what to be done, and the courts are not going to cut them any slacks. They will, after the district courts, just like the Supreme Court tried to find any little thing to give Trump a leg up. The district courts are not going to give them any chances at all. They're going to make sure they are held accountable to the law to the nth degree. So, intuitively, I feel like saying there is going to be a point. I don't know. You know what I feel is coming for ICE? You see all those new people they just hired? They will all be purged. Unless you are competent and educated, the thing that's coming, after they are purged, they're going to be prosecuted. I don't know if they're going to change the name from DHS to something else. I remember I believe it was the late 70s. I don't know, I believe I told that story. I'll make it quick. I used to stay, I almost became homeless when I was in high school, my last year of high school, because I worked my way through college, as I've told that story. But anyway, I stayed with my teacher, not my teacher, he's Haitian. He was a teacher at New Rochelle High School. So when I couldn't find a place to stay, so I stayed in their house for a few weeks, him and his wife. Okay? So I'm saying he's Haitian, he's still alive, he's in his 80s now. They're both in their 80s. The thing is, at that time, they called those agents Immigration and Naturalization Services, INS. And what I see today, they didn't do that. But they still humiliate you. It happened to me. When they came to the house, because he didn't have a green card, his wife didn't have a green card either. When they came to the room where I was sleeping, okay, the kids, they moved one of their kids out and let me stay in that room because they had 3 boys. So they put all the boys in one room. So I took over the room in one of the oldest one. So they came into the room, they insult you. And that, not my case, because I just went along with it. I didn't want, any trouble. I simply wanted a place to sleep. But the point I'm trying to make is they were, but some of them were abusive. One of the 3, there were 3 of them that were there. One of them was abusive. The others were, more or less neutral. They did the same thing to my friend and his wife. So, but that didn't last. A couple of years later, they got rid of INS because it got on TV. They were chasing immigrants. They weren't doing what they're doing today. I mean, You go to pick up somebody if they are illegal. A lot of them try to run. In those days, it wasn't the same as today, but they still change the organization. They changed the name. The whole thing changed because it has negative connotation to the name. So the point I'm trying to make is now we're a lot more, people are a lot more sophisticated. Communication is like in a second. In those days, something happened, and it would take about a couple of weeks before it hit the news. Okay, but it caught up with them. They had to change. They changed the name and a whole lot of other things that they did, which was good. Okay, but now they're going back. It feels like to me to the same old days, because after that they didn't treat like they treated me. So I had my green card. Thank God they didn't. And at that time, once that's interesting. How much that's an important point. Once I showed them my green card, they looked at it, they gave it back to me. But something, they knew who I was. Okay, they didn't go into that. I didn't think about that until the other day, last week. They knew who I was. Of course, they knew who they were. The way some of the stuff that agent I told you that insulted me, some of the things that he said, he had to know my family, okay, or they have access to your files. So that's how the other day, I'm like, I never thought about that. They knew who I was, who lived in the apartment. So that's how, thorough those guys are, or at least they were at that time. Those guys can find out a lot more information about you as well because of computers, okay? But they change everything. So, and the reason why I'm going back to give you that example is to show you what is happening today is not going to last. They're going to make changes, whether they keep the names or not. All those guys who are running around laughing at people, thinking they're funny, okay? I saw a video a little while ago of they were showing a place in Arizona, where the agents, they were in a couple of SUVs. As they were driving by, a bunch of protesters were on the sidewalk, and they decided to spray them with pepper spray or something to that effect. All those things, they are disrespectful, but watch how they're going to be left to face justice by themselves. That's the other reason why I gave you this little background and what's coming. They won't have a job, and they will be prosecuted at the state level. The Trump won't be able to help them. It's not going to happen now because Trump won't be in office. That's my prediction, my friends. So hang in there. All those guys who are running around causing mischiefs, forget it. And they're going to be purged. Remember that. The next reference is Melania. Melania went on TV to call for peace. We have to unify. I'm not quite sure who she's asking to unify. And some people ask me, was that last night? Will her movie do well? According to reports, it's flopping. I don't see that changing. And no one is going to listen to Melania. I'm sorry, I don't, I don't like I don't like the way I feel about her. And to me, anyone who can tolerate what Trump is doing is because you're just like him. So I try to let it go, but I can't. To being honest, okay, I don't like her as a person. But my friends, she can beg, scream, whatever she wants, asking people to unify. Never gonna happen if she's the one they're putting up front to ask people to unify. Except for MAGA, no one else has any respect for her. That's my prediction. And I feel like saying Nom herself knows she's not out of danger. And also, she knows Trump can change his mind at any point and dump her. And my prediction is I would be surprised if he doesn't. I'd be shocked if she's still there a month or so from now because of the clamoring behind the scenes to get rid of her. Lewandowski will be gone too. Some people asked me last night about the conversation between Walz and Trump. Don't believe the hype. Walz did it because he has responsibility. He's governor, and he wants to cool things off and protect Minnesotan. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. I don't know if that's the right way to call people from Minnesota. So please correct me. I'm sure you guys will correct me anyway. It's okay. I learn. That was his fiduciary responsibility. He had to do it. Trump had to do it because Republicans, I'm talking about the leadership, we won't know what's happening between like people like Thune and his colleagues or the leaders in the Senate when they talk to Trump and what they talk about. But intuitively, I feel they want Trump. He's heading in the wrong direction. And they are sitting on a powder keg. And also how he's affecting their re-election chances. That's why, and I mean also, well, this is not good. That's why I feel intuitively Trump decided to take the initiative and talk to Walz. The only person I believe, as far as what transpired in that conversation, is Walz and Mayor Frey. I don't believe anything Trump says. But right now, intuitively, I feel he knows he has no chance. They have to de-escalate. Yes, they're going to have a couple of agents down there running around, try to catch people. And the other prediction I want to make, they have a 3,000 person a day they want agents to catch. They're going to forget that number too. You know something? Intuitively, yes, they're still going to have those guys running around. But right now, Trump has made it the center of his presidency. He's going to continue to find other ways to hurt immigrants. But he's going to shift the focus from the way they're going about hurting people, running around trying to hurt blue states, accusing people of stealing money from the government, corruption, and all that kind of stuff. It's going to change. And it's not because he wants to. It's because this is hurting a lot of his fellow Republicans. But intuitively, I don't feel it's going to help any of them in November. They will still lose the House, and pretty good chance they will lose the Senate as well. And one thing I want to say, I was warning you guys last year during the presidential election, before Musk realized he had to step in and save Trump, among other things. I hope we are all paying attention as to everything Trump is doing and his Republican colleagues for them to stay in office for as long as they possibly can in perpetuity, if they can. I hope Democrats are paying attention and counter every thing they do to stay in office. They are not kidding. And Trump, absolutely. There are a couple of initiatives that he has. We know about them. There are certain things he's doing overtly. Okay? There are things he's doing behind the scenes that we are not aware of. And Democrats have to keep their eyes on that as well. I'm sure Democrats know. There's only one way to change tires in your car. Okay? Anything else you try won't work. It's the same thing for an election. There are so many ways you can try to cheat. It's a little more complicated than changing a tire, but I give something that's simple we can all understand. Okay? To affect an election, there is only a certain number of ways you can do it. And Democrats, I feel, are aware of those different ways you can do it. They have to keep their eyes not only on voter suppressions and how Trump and his enablers are trying hard to do it, and he's not going to stop. The more he feels he will lose, the worse they will be inclined. They will do anything to stay in office. That's my prediction. So Democrats have to really keep an eye, because I don't want, yes, intuitively, people want to vote for Democrats. They're going to have to, one of the reason why I'm saying this, and also for Democrats too, they have to start counteract the psychological impact that ICE can have on some of us. I'm voting no matter what. But some people, and you can blame them, it's scary. I mean, they're afraid to go out today to work. Never mind. I mean, American citizens. I was talking to a lady yesterday. She's an American citizen. She wasn't born here. She's panicking. I'm like, why are you panicking? There is no reason to. But I'm just giving that as an example. Democrats have to keep an eye on those things. The different ways they can affect the outcome of the election. Keep our fingers crossed, my friends. But very good chance Democrats will win both the House and the Senate. That's my prediction. I think I have one more thing I wanted to mention, and then I'll take... Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I put Vaught's name in the title. I meant to include him as well. He's going to have some legal problems. Okay? Everything that you see Miller going through right now, Trump won't let him go, because he's been very smart to, not to be as... a couple of times he's come on TV and said stupid things, okay? But not the way Miller has done. And also, he's been smart enough not to go out and make the threats that Miller has been making. But he's equally to blame, because he's part of the team that's coming up with ideas on how to destroy our government. Even if they don't get rid of him now, because it's difficult to make a case to get rid of him, except for how he's standing in the way of every organization or every agency he doesn't like, trying to defund them. But him too, when this is over, I'm not seeing him in prison yet, but he will be thoroughly investigated, and he's going to have a major legal bill, I hope. that sent him into poverty. But he won't escape free. All of them will suffer the consequences of what they are doing to people today. That's my prediction. Okay. I think I covered everything. Let me see if you guys have questions. Somebody, I think, asked me a question. Okay, that's a good. Somebody asked me, now Trump has openly backed down for the first time. Does this mean that he and his sycophants will not be successfully challenged on other areas where they have broken the law? Yes. When this thing is over, or I mean, not even over, once Democrats take the gavel next year, my friends, after those, well, there's something I want to say. Some people, a couple of people, I don't want them to feel that I neglect to mention Porter's name from California who was killed. The reason why we tend to, at least I can't speak for anyone else, I tend to mention petty, and good is because the videos, they are on your mind, and you're walking around. I don't watch them anymore. It's because for that very same reason. But they tend to make you forget other people the ICE have killed, abused, or shoot them and hurt them. Because there is a picture of Pretty, where one of those agents had him on his knee. He had one knee on the ground, okay, and the guy held the gun behind his head. That picture, this administration will never be able to get away from or recover, no matter what they do, no matter what they say. In fact, the commander of a special operation, of our special operation, Miller, said something, tried to say, oh, how dare you supporting criminals or something like that, or people who came to execute our agents. He didn't say anything. I believe he's the first one who edited that frame from the video and sent it to Miller. He tweeted. It's on Twitter. Okay. That's a powerful picture. They are not going to be able to live this down. I mean, that picture is very triggering. And I'll tell you, intuitively, I wouldn't be surprised if Miller instructed some of those, or instructed them, you can kill people and nothing will happen to you. And some of them are dumb enough to go out and do it. Let's see what happens, my friends. Intuitively, I feel this too will come. That order from Miller and others, we will know. People talk. That's my prediction. These guys didn't just go out because they're sick upstairs to kill somebody, or kill not one person, a number of people, because they felt like it that day. Yeah, they are bad guys, they're bad people. But intuitively, I feel they were following orders. That's my prediction. Sick, but unfortunately, innocent people have lost their lives, and it won't be in vain, I'll tell you that. Okay. Oh my God. Mother Nature's, I will never forget, nor will I forgive all these people who voted for this, but are now claiming regrets. Yes, I know what you mean. They thought the hell that they had played for others wouldn't affect them. In some ways, I agree with you. A lot of people, on Twitter, you should see them. It's crazy. Kenneth Langsley says, Milo, do you see Trump health and April a big downfall? To be honest with you, let me see, you said April, right? He's declining. I'm not going to tell you, lie to you and tell you in April it's going to be a big decline. But what he's going through, and this week, he thought he was going to be like Mr. King, he expected Americans to be more, to be more Americans to behave in a racist way, just like he and Stephen Miller and Vaught and these people feel. And they messed up. They are in the minority, my friends. Most Americans are fair people, fair-minded people, and they will give you a chance. Even the KKK, you will find a couple who said, you know what, guys, this is wrong. And, they will try to help somebody, believe it or not. So never mind. I'm sure, the people who killed those American compatriots, I wouldn't be surprised they're affiliated with some kind of, I wouldn't be surprised if they're Proud Boys or 3%ers, because, according to reports, they have a bunch of them in there. And I wasn't surprised they said they had them in there, because I expected Trump to use them instead. But they decided to do another way. So, which is, but thank God this is, that more people feel the same way they do. Man, they can't walk away from this. That's my prediction. So hang in there. You're very welcome, Lorado Shirenji. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. That is true, Marlon H. Marlon says, what a dragon. I keep reminding people that you can't plan when someone is going to meet their maker. That's for sure. Nana Binana says, my sister is a minister. She keeps trying to get me to attend her church. Gets mad when I bring up she voted for this crap. Then she says, she don't understand why I won't go to her church, shaking my head. Yeah, just like that guy Don Lemon went to witness what the protesters were going to do at that church. He's a minister there, just like your sister. It's crazy. Can't believe it. Even White says it had to happen like this in order for some people to wake up. That is true. I was thinking about that this morning. It's sad. How many innocent people, it's crazy. And that's what Good said. I remember, guys, last week I said, unfortunately, that's the way she had to go for things to change. Something like that, I believe I said. I don't remember. So I remember things. The topics of what I say something about, the prediction, but I don't remember word for word what I say. But yeah, it's really sad to see innocent people get slaughtered like that. But my friends, this is not going to go away. Okay, let's see, scrolling up. Whitney Addison Gigi says Ted Cruz went to California, and when winter storms hit, he disappears. Yeah. In fact, he got caught flying to California. He chose not to go to Cancun this time. Carl French 12 says, will there be a government shutdown? I would be surprised if we don't have one. I think we will. Democrats, according to somebody this morning, and I think that's possibly what they're going to do, break the bill, remove the DHS part so they can argue and fight over it. That's what I feel they're going to, I think that's one of the approaches. But I think it's going to happen because Democrats have to show something. Because, the anger is crazy. Melania says, Milu, do you see those agents who murdered Goody and Pretty working about changes, or do they feel that they got away with it? Or they know they have not gotten away with it. And those people are monsters. Okay? They carry out what the order was from Miller and Company, and Norm and Company. Okay? But they are not innocent people. And in fact, real, ICE agents, they are frustrated. You know how they call those guys who are running around giving them a bad name? Because there are a lot of great ICE agents. ICE didn't operate like this before. They did it by the book, like I said, in the 70s. It's not like today. But in the 70s, like I said, those agents knew who I was. They knew I lived in the house. In those days, they had computers. No. They had IBM mainframes. Okay. I'm thinking PCs. I forgot about mainframe. But yes, of course, everything was done, on mainframes. So all they had to do was punch your name and it would come, or your social security number or whatever, and your green card number as well. No, they wouldn't know your green card number. They would, they enter your name, they know their address, they know who lives there, they enter your name, it will pop up. Okay. So, but they knew who I was. So today, those guys don't do that. But the old agents, that's how they were carrying out deportations. And in fact, if you look back, Biden, Obama, according to reports, Obama is the deporter-in-chief. He deported so many people. It was not funny, I never knew that. I was surprised when they said that. But Trump wants TV. He wants everything to be on TV. He wants to look good since they are clueless. They think, let's put everything on TV. Norm goes and acts in front of a huge prison with naked or bare chests on a prison. I thought that was the most sickening thing. And she was wearing one of those super expensive watches. I don't remember the name of it. I never own one, so I never even thought of buying one. I don't like watches. They're not one of my things, but some people love them, and they're nice. It's just not me. But anyway, that's the Trump thing. It has to be. It has to look good. It has to be on TV. It has to look perfect. Let's see what happens. Thank you, friends, for spending time with me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmelo.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. If you like the channel, please subscribe, and also don't forget to tap on the notification bell. Please give me a thumbs up. That would help me a lot. I will see you all tomorrow unless something major happens later. But my friends, it's been a depressing couple of days. I must confess, if it bothers me, it's bad. All right. But I have hope. I have hope. Things are going to change for the better. Thank you very much. It's in the music, Diana, for re-enrolling, for renewing your membership. Thank you. Okay, friends. See you all tomorrow. Till then, bye.